Hello, hello, hello. Lana Love here. I'm going to be reading this message about and from Amy Winehouse that's in this book, Great Minds Speak to You. And it was channeled through Tina Louise Spalding. And here's the back of the book so you can check out this information and go buy it. Go buy it from her website. It is an incredible book. All right, Amy Winehouse, 1983 to 2011. Amy Winehouse won 5 Grammy Awards for her 2006 album, Back to Black, and is remembered for songs like Rehab, Back to Black, and Valerie. Tina's comments. Tina is the channel, again, the woman who channeled this message from Amy Winehouse, who's in the spirit realm. Tina's comments. The energy in this project is building, and as I look at the growing list of names that will populate this book, I am beginning to see the wisdom in the selections. I'm beginning to see how each of these beings will speak to us, each in their own way, each to a different generation, telling their stories of success and failure. I realize, as I transcribe this material, that Ananda is right. We only have half of the story until we hear about the conclusions each of these individuals has come to at the end of life, when he or she gets a chance to see clearly what happened, why, and what it all meant to the soul's development. We look at celebrities and envy them or pity them. We wish we were famous, or we're glad we are not. These dialogues are making me look at my life, my expectations and fears, and even my own fascination with celebrity. They make me ask, at the end of my life, when I look back on it all, will I have lived the way I wanted to? Will I have faced my fears? Challenged myself and loved to the best of my ability? Will I have based my decisions on the right principles or deceptions mistaken for truth? I think these essays will help each of us decide. The following celebrity was one of those I had very little knowledge of at all. And me as Lana reading this right now, I'm going to say the same thing. I had very little knowledge of Amy Winehouse when I read this. And also, I'm getting that she's one of my guides. I'm getting a gut tug as I say that. So this is one of the reasons why I'm sharing this. Also because it came up recently. She came up recently in a conversation that I was having with my new guitarist, Adam Blake. And I wanted to share this story with him, so that's why I'm recording it. The following celebrity was one that of those I had very little knowledge of at all. When she died, I had to ask my college classmates who she was and what she was famous for. I am here. Here's Amy Winehouse's message. I am here. I have been here for a little while, not too long. I'm a recent venturer into the non-physical. I am a writer, a singer, and a musical person. I had a rough time of it in the scheme of things. I was not happy in my life. I was not healthy in my life, and I have to talk about that particular subject. I was quite famous as a singer and writer and producer of music. This transition that I've been through has been quite a painful one for me because I was quite lost when I passed over. I was quite lost in the sense that I did not know about life after death in any meaningful way. I did not understand what had happened to me at the end of my life. I was in quite a lot of suffering in terms of mental and emotional anguish, and drugs and alcohol came into play. I was very disturbed, so as I passed over, there was much confusion because the mind that is deeply troubled brings these concepts with it into the afterlife. There is a period of adjustment when you must be willing to let go of the ideas, thoughts, and perceptions that you have had during your lifetime. This is not easy to do because you have spent years and years invested in these feelings and these beliefs. You've spent years and years talking about what you believe to be true. This is quite a humbling experience in a way, but you are released from the confines of your ego mind. You are more immersed in the habits of thinking, so it is not that you believe them anymore, but it is just what you are used to. It is as if you have not been using a muscle for some time. When you go to use it, it does not feel like a part of you in some ways, and it can be a little painful in the sense that it is not free moving, that it is not used to this kind of activity. When I passed through, there was a period of confusion when there seemed to be many beings around me I did not recognize. There seemed to be many beings around me who ignored me. I was going through some levels of what you would consider darkness, but they were more representative of my own inner condition. Just as your life represents all of your beliefs, so the transition into the life after the one you are living represents your inner condition. The confusions, the fears, the unhappiness, the self-hatred, these all appear to you in images and ideas as you pass over. This does not happen so much if you are happy and content in your life, but if you are deeply immersed in depression, addiction, fearful thoughts, phobias, and these kinds of things, there is a little period of confusion. But beings are sent to you to assist you on your journey. Beings are sent to you to begin to beam their ideas, the ideas of truth, into your mind. And because they are so loving, because they are so influential, they can in fact shine a light into the darkness of your mind and begin to call you toward them. You begin to be called toward the light that is truth of who you are. This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me when I passed over. I was confused for some time, but slowly I became aware of these angelic beings who had been sent to assist me in my transition. Gradually, they had access to more and more of my ideas and thoughts, and eventually they were able to converse with me and explain to me what had happened. That I had passed over, that all was well, and that there is this life after death. There is this life of compassion and complete forgiveness. There is this life of gentleness, support, and loving kindness. That has been my experience in coming to know myself. That has been my experience in coming to know myself. I realized the lies I had believed on earth were no longer true. As I looked back on my ways and errors, I was shown how to be forgiving of myself. And this is really my message for those of you reading this material. You must forgive yourselves, and you must forgive others for all of the trespasses you believe have happened against you. For none of that matters when you pass over. It is only the joys, the love, and the connection. It is only the positive creative experiences you have had that really move you along. These dark and desperate times, these thoughts of hatred, self-annihilation, and self-judgment really do not exist on this side. They are merely blocks of empty time. When you look back on your life, you are not judged for these. You perceive that they were not creative, that they were not moving you forward in your understanding, and so they are quite crippling from this point of view. You have a certain amount of time allotted in which you wish to experience and accomplish goals set before you were born. So any darkness, any hatred, and any unconsciousness through addiction is considered a blank part of this journey. You will look back and see that you might have wasted 50% of your time in unconsciousness or in non-existence, in this idea of unloving thoughts and unloving behavior. You did not get to experience all of the things you wished to experience. You did not get to be who you planned you would be. This is the only regret. Really, this is the only sadness you feel, that you did not have the correct information. You were not told that forgiveness is the path to peace, and that the path to peace is the path to understanding yourself. You can reflect on yourself, and you can reflect on truth, which can only really reach you when you are at peace. Truth cannot reach you when you are in anger or in judgment. Truth cannot reach you when you are fearful. It is only when you reach a state of peace, self-love, and self-awareness that information can flow to you in the way that it wishes to. Because this information is always flowing to you, always coming to you from spirit. This is the gist of these stories. You can see that this is the theme that many of us are spelling out for you. That spiritual information, spiritual love, spiritual awareness, and knowledge is always, always flowing to you. But it is blocked by your fears. It is blocked by your judgments. It is blocked by your insecurities and hatred. And it is blocked by your drug and alcohol use, which keeps the mind in a lower state of functioning and prevents these high vibration beings who are all around me at this very moment from sending their love. It prevents them from sending their healing thoughts and their loving, reparative concepts into your mind. From the outside, it looked as if my life was quite glamorous, but the end was not a pretty sight. It was rough, and there were many instances of sadness and hatred and images caught by cameras. This was difficult to look back on. It was difficult because my experience behind the scenes was one of sadness, one of desperation. Yet the newspaper reporting of this part of my life was very harsh and detrimental. This is another message that I would like to send. You must remember that all of us who are in the public eye, all of us who perform because we have a talent or a creative outlet that you find enjoyable, are ordinary human beings who have our own trials and tribulations. And many of us are not prepared for the fame we achieve at young ages. Many of us are not prepared for the money, the drugs, the alcohol, the hangers-on, the schedules of production, these kinds of things. It is very difficult for us to cope with this inundation of celebrity that you find in your culture. This is the reason this book is being done, based on famous people's takes on their experience in living, in dying, and in the afterlife. To give you some concept that these beings, such as myself, such as this being you call Amy Winehouse, are not different from you. We are not ready to receive this kind of wave of money, fame, drugs, and people who want us. It is very difficult to cope with all of that. Those of you who support this idea of celebrity, this idea that we are gods in some way, really are not helping us at all. All of the energy that you focus on us, we feel. This is something I really want you to know. From a spiritual point of view, when you are a celebrity, you see that all of these people tuning into you, all of these people judging you, all of those people reading about you, affecting your energy levels, affect your energy levels. You take that information in, the adoration, the hatred, the judgment, the curiosity, and it disrupts your energetic system because you are being focused on so much. This is not really in a physical, but more in an energetic sense. It is imperative for celebrities to have the ability to hide and to live in a peaceful way. So I ask all of you who watch your televisions, who follow celebrities, who engage in this worship, to understand this. It is quite detrimental to us. Unless you support us in our expressions, unless you assist us on our journeys, it is really a hateful thing for us to experience. The constant observations cause us to become closed. The constant reporting on any mistake we make makes us paranoid and fearful. It is really hard to live with this. It is really hard to function creatively in this, as you can imagine. It is almost impossible for us to live a peaceful life. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't live that way anymore. I was destined to live a life of great creative expression, but I couldn't take it. When I came over here, when I died, I got to see what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to live a long life, expressing my creative talents, writing, singing, performing, bringing a lot of joy to the world. But I took some wrong turns, and I got into some chemical substances that did not assist my brain in functioning. I became unable to make decisions and lost my way. I am just saying that as an audience of fame, as an audience of these beings, you must understand your part in it. Just send them love and support. Do not purchase the magazines that attack, and do not watch the shows that attack. Support the artists by purchasing their work. Support the artists through prayer and sending love vibrations. We feel it. Most of all, think about the consequences of your own actions. You are living a life vicariously through someone else. This is the lesson I really want to impart in this book that I want to talk about. There's this idea that you need to live your own creative life. You know, it's wonderful to purchase someone's material, and it's wonderful to support artists so they can live their creative dreams. But the energy you put into somebody else's performances when you are not living your own creative life is like that of a vampire, sucking energy out of the being you are adoring in that way, who you are living vicariously through, because all beings are connected. When you're not in touch with your own creativity, with your own connections to spirituality, it is as if you are empty inside. It is as if you have a hole that needs to be filled. And this adoration of celebrity, this endless need to know about other beings, what their actions are, what they're wearing, what they're saying, their relationships, all this kind of stuff, this pulls on us. And it is like you are taking away from us. This is a part of the consequence of what we feel as performers in the spotlight of this society that you live in right now. The mental connections that we all have, the oneness that we all share, has been distorted in this culture into a clamoring of hands that pull at the being in the spotlight. I just want you to know that you need to be more gentle with each other. You need to be more loving, kind, and understanding of the connection that we all have, and know that the judgments and the relentless pursuit of young performers is very detrimental to their spiritual and emotional well-being. You may say that these beings deserve this because they are in the spotlight, but you must understand that we are creative beings who wish to express ourselves through singing, dancing, acting, and these kinds of things. This is our right to express ourselves in this way, and it's only because you do not understand how the mind connection works that this detrimental behavior happens. It is because you do not understand that your own creativity is so important to you. This is why the worship of celebrity is happening. Because you are not fulfilled in your own life. You are not the star of your own life. Many of you aren't in touch with your creativity. And this book really repeats this lesson that creativity is the very food of your soul. It is the very way that Spirit speaks to you, through this self-expression of ideas, through the expression of ideas that are coming to you through Spirit. The inspiration that artists feel is really not their doing, in a way. This information comes to them, is channeled to them. And now this is Lana speaking. As an aside from this book, I am an artist, I am a country singer, songwriter, I am a creative, and I have been really focused on my passions, these creative endeavors, over the last several years since I started my spiritual journey. And I will say this book was one of the things that inspired me. Also, Amy Winehouse's message here is one that has inspired me to not seek fame and celebrity, to actually I'm actually averse to it now. However, I'm getting very clearly that it is my destiny. However, I'm going to be approaching it in a very different way to ensure that people really understand this message right here that Amy Winehouse is giving to us. The inspiration that artists feel is really not their doing in a way. This information comes to them. This information comes to them, is channeled to them. I can see that now. When I look at a performer, there are many spiritual beings around him or her, earthbound beings who have done this work before and love this kind of expression. I know Amy's one of my guides. Let us say a singer is singing. You will find there are singing spirits around, angelic spirits who love music, who assist in the transmission of material from the non-physical to the physical. It is not the singer's choice, in a way. There is this influx of creativity, this channeling of information. And I just want you to understand how it works so that you can understand that this is what you're supposed to be doing too. This is what you're supposed to feel in your own life, that you have your music, your writing, your painting, your dancing, and whatever your creativity is, that you have a deep and profound connection to it. And that you don't need to take from others. You can actually look at somebody performing and admire them because you know the work that's gone into it, because you've done it yourself. because you understand the creative process, because you've been involved in your own creative process. This vampire-like need for celebrity will pass, and you will be immersed in your own life, starring in your own life, and doing what you wish to do through the creative energies that flow through the universe to every single being. This is not a dramatic lesson. This is not an earth-shattering idea. It is just my experience. I felt lonely. I felt overwhelmed completely by what happened to me. And I think this is just really a good place to say this. Don't worship other beings. They are just ordinary humans who are fallible, young, and inexperienced, trying to use their creative forces in a way that is beneficial. The way your world is structured right now is very unhealthy, and if you are participating in this unhealthiness, I just want you to know that it really does affect other people's lives. It really does affect those of us who are not prepared. If you only send love, if you only appreciate our music and our performance, the energy that will be sent will be very different. But it is not a healthy energy in your culture. And I would just like to say that if you participate in that unhealthy energy, I really would like you to turn toward your own creativity and begin to do the work of learning to sing, learning to dance, learning to paint, or learning to do whatever it is that speaks to you. Then you will be contributing a positive creative force to the world instead of this needy and grasping energy that is like weights around our ankles. Those of us who are in the limelight in this society do not do well. We do not survive well because of this energetic drain, this energetic attack that is happening. You aren't taught that this happens. You aren't taught that you are connected to us, but you are. And that focal point, that intense scrutiny that happens, really does affect a being on an energetic level. I'm so happy to be in a place now where I am free to be me, where I'm free to sing with other beings who love to sing. There's no pressure. There is only joy in the expression of it. And I have to say that I'm not in a rush to go back to your world. I will need to go back because I didn't do such a good job of handling things. And we do have to understand how it works and integrate the lessons into real comprehension through experience. But I am still resting. I am still just really finding my feet here. I'm going to stay and sing in the choirs here. And I'm going to sing with the beings here who have passed over, who love to sing. And I'm going to take a rest. My life was an exhausting journey for me. It was an exhausting and tiring experience, and I was quite scared a lot of the time. I was quite unprepared a lot of the time. I took on a project that I couldn't handle, so I'm going through that here. I'm learning about how things work and how to cope with these things better. I'll come back at another point as a singer and see if I can do it, but even the idea of it right now scares me so much that I just want to stay here in this kind, calm, and gentle place. That is what you consider life after death. Now, as I read that, I feel like this is part of why she's one of my guides. I can feel this intense aversion to fame and celebrity. And I also feel this intense confidence now as I take the stage again and relaunch my country music career in a subgenre that I am creating. Inspirational tantric country music, weaving together the spiritual with the physical. Feel the passion ignite your soul. Let the light fill you up. Immerse yourself in big love. Live your dreams now and you be you. That's where I'm focusing my attention. And I know Amy Winehouse is guiding me. And I am so excited about this next chapter of my life. So continuing on with her message. I took on a project that I couldn't handle. So I'm going through that here. I'm learning how things work and how to cope with things better. I'll come back at another point as a singer and see if I can do it. But even the idea of it right now scares me so much that I just want to stay here in this kind, calm, and gentle place that is what you consider life after death. And guide Lana Love. Thank you, Amy. But from my point of view, it is the other way around. The life you call life on earth was a death for me. It was the opposite. I am living now as I should be, freely and expressively, loved and appreciated, sharing experiences of creativity with other beings who are creative. I'm getting in my mind right now, Michael Jackson's one of them for sure, Get Tug, and Elvis. There are two others, I believe. I don't know. I think both of them are in this book. The earth experience is a dark one for some people, and I didn't do well. I just wanted you to know that you participate in these disasters that you watch on television, and it's better if you don't watch them. It's better if you live your own life. Be kind and loving to any performers you see, because if you live your own creativity, you will understand the work that it takes. You will understand the courage it takes to step up on those stages, and you'll send them love and admiration, and they'll feel that. That's really the message. All energy is connected, and if you don't appreciate creativity, the beings who try to express it cannot survive. They cannot live in that environment, and it becomes very difficult for them to express who they are and to carry on with their life assignments. That's my story. That's my sad ending, I suppose, although I'm not sad now. I'm happy now. Just know that your responsibility is to your own creativity. Show appreciation to others who create, but don't worship them. They are not gods, and worshiping them like they are won't help them on their journeys. In fact, it will hurt them on their journeys, and they won't do as well. They won't thrive as well. Just buy their records and tune into their concerts. Don't feed the celebrity machine. It doesn't assist us in any way, and it really is damaging to a lot of us. Wow. Thank you, Amy, for that message. I know she's guiding me because I can feel that intense, no fame, no celebrity, unless I get to live a private life and I do not have people injecting themselves upon me when I don't want them to be. So respect the people out there, the people you love, the people whose creativity you admire. Give them the respect that they deserve and respect their privacy. Send them love. Send them positivity. Send them nothing but kindness. And this is Lana Love signing off. I hope you'll check out my music. I'm rebranding myself as Psychic Songbird. Psychic Songbird. Tantric country music. Inspirational tantric country music. I hope you'll check it out, and I look forward to maybe someday meeting you in person and feeling your positive vibe. Lana Love signing off until next time. You be you and live your dreams now.